and welcome to New Jersey City University's Talks of Tomorrow webinar series. My name is Taya Rogolan. I'm the administrator for the Office of Adult and Continuing Education. I'm joined by my colleague, Nicole Valencia Flores, Social Media Marketing Manager. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to our AI in Logistics and Supply Chain webinar. A couple of housekeeping rules before we begin. This webinar is being recorded, so please be mindful of your audio and video settings, as well as any personal or sensitive information you share. We request that all microphones are muted during the presentation. There will be an opportunity for Q&A, so please type your questions in the chat and we will answer each of them at that time. It is my distinguished pleasure to welcome and to introduce you to our presenter for today, Dr. Eunsu Lee, Professor of Management at New Jersey City University and a distinguished expert in global supply chain systems, maritime logistics, and transportation analytics. With a PhD in transportation and logistics and advanced degrees in industrial engineering, production management, and computer science. Dr. Lee brings a unique interdisciplinary approach to solving complex logistics challenges. He currently serves as the subcommittee chair of port performance for the Transportation Research Board and as vice president of technology for the Northeast Decision Sciences Institute. He is also a key contributor to strategic initiatives within the Korean American Scientists and Engineering Association, helping shape long range planning for technology and logistics development. Dr. Lee has held diverse roles across academia, government, and industry, including as a systems engineer at Korea's National Livestock Cooperative Federation, a logistics consultant specializing in network optimization, and an Army logistician managing Class 5 operations. His work in system integration for logistics and manufacturing and in transportation modeling at the Upper Great Plains Transportation Institute reflects a career dedicated to operational efficiency and innovation. He is the founder and director of the NJCU KMI Center for Supply Chain and Maritime Logistics and the Supply Chain and Demand Analytics and Technology Laboratory, where he leads research on digital transformation, data-driven decision-making, and port performance analytics. Passionate about bridging theory and practice, Dr. Lee continues to mentor the next generation of logistics professionals while collaborating with global stakeholders to advance the future of sustainable and intelligent supply chains. Dr. Lee, please take it away.
Hi, Tayo. Thanks for your wonderful introduction. You saved my time and then you really explained what I'm working on. Thanks. Thank you for joining today's very interesting webinar. I'm so happy to have this opportunity to speak with you about this topic, which is rapidly transforming our industry. The role of artificial intelligence in supply chain and logistics systems. I would like to thank NGCU Adult to Continuous Education for inviting me to having this opportunity to speak. Can you go next slide? Next slide, please. Yeah. So we have been experiencing influx of artificial intelligence in our daily lives. And so as Tayo introduced me, I have different types of credentials from bachelor's degree through PhD, including information technology, computer science, transportation management, production management, supply chain transportation. Now I'm teaching supply chain management at here NJCU, New Jersey City University School of Business. I'm so excited to have this. So we can find a lot of numerous webinars, seminars, and workshops are being offered. So you have been attended so many different types of AI events like that. And also if you attend national, international, regional conferences, all conferences and professional meetings discussing artificial intelligence. So it is weird if you don't talk about artificial intelligence. It's part of this. And then we also see a lot of courses, curriculum is being changed, and many university and colleges or NGCU also try to um, initiate some courses and update traditional courses by embedding this kind of artificial intelligence. So, and also a lot of tools now include artificial intelligence features, which is similar to corn syrups in our daily food. You have any food and then corn syrups are embedded. So, right. So if you do any office work and maybe manual jobs, also artificial intelligence is being involved in our daily lives. And then, like, for example, today's Zoom is being recorded and summarized by artificial intelligence, and you also watch videos and TVs and suggested by artificial intelligence. Next, please. So before talking about artificial intelligence, we try to get some concept of supply chain uh, in terms of value chain. So the goal of a business is delivering value to the customers through different channels. And actually supply chain is a part of this value chain to implement and to achieve these business goals. So if you see the supply chain, you go through inbound logistics, operations, outbound logistics, marketing, sales, after sales services, like you see on the bottom of this diagram. This value chain concept was introduced by Harvard Business School professor um, Michael Porter. The value chain framework identifies how business create value through both primary and secondary activities, which is the supporting activities. So within this framework, the supply chain constitutes a core set of primary activities. You can see it on the bottom of this diagram. So can you move next slide? All right. So through the value chain, we try to add value-added activities to achieve those goals. And if those are non-value added, they might be replaced by artificial intelligence or eliminated to achieve lean supply chain initiatives. Or value-added process can be replaced by artificial intelligence or partially fully to achieve efficiency and cost effectiveness. So supply chain, logistics, transportation, I just separate those three things. So supply chain, logistics, transportation may have different goals. These things actually cover spatial, temporal gaps, and control inventory. So everything is about space, time, quantity, which is inventory. So while operations management focus on process, logistics and transportation is task oriented. And supply chain management is relationship oriented. That's why I try to have a separate concept of this uh, to explain the artificial intelligence. Can you go next slide? All right, so we are talking about supply chain. Chain is a combination of different identities and different elements. So if you extend the businesses through supplier and customers or other partners in upstream and downstream, so left-hand side, if you see it is upstream, right-hand side is the downstream. So if we focus on the middle of chain, let's assume there is our enterprise, that you have different business activities, including sourcing, production, outbound logistics, distribution, warehousing, and delivering, shipping to the customers. So these kind of activities are mingled, extended to suppliers and then customers. And so a lot of activities are being involved, and those activities will be part of a process, and the process will be combined into a project. So we really need to have process management and project management. So we call those operations management. You go next slide. So this supply chain will go with information and financial transactions and product physical movements through this chain to achieve efficiency, minimum cost, high accuracy, high visibility, and a high maintenance of asset to enhance our decision making. So decision making can be done with good data and then business rules and policy and with skilled people and infrastructure such as hardware, software. So all different activities will be optimized or implemented with different types of analytics, such as descriptive analytics, diagnostic analytics, predictive analytics, prescriptive analytics. So descriptive analytics will have explore analysis, imaging processes, for example, while diagnostic analytics include cause and effect analysis. Predictive analysis and analytics, like you imagine, forecasting, pattern recognition, trends will be part of this analytics. Descriptive analytics utilize simulation optimization techniques to enhance our decision making. So these analytics with the big data can be implemented information system in collaboration with artificial intelligence. Next slide, please. So artificial intelligence can be implemented in expert system with certain types of algorithms or combination of them called machine learning. So the group of algorithm called supervised learning, unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning, and the example of algorithms include support vector machines, decision trees, regression analysis, Bayesian network, genetic algorithm for optimization, deep learning artificial neural networks. Next slide, please. So a lot of examples can be found these days. So for example, Amazon predict demand and inventory placement. This kind of prediction algorithm is implemented by Southern Glazers Wine and Spirit also. The company improve accuracy of forecasting with Amazon's SageMaker solution, and DHL optimize delivery routes and customer service. Uber Freight improve delivery time, and LG use imaging processing in manufacturing. I have a video, but not actually video example later on these slides. And CJ Logistics actually enhance employee safety with artificial intelligence features. And Standard Dynamics optimize loads with optimal dynamics. So a lot of information available, and actually I have these examples from a couple of different sources, and some of them you can find from Inbound Logistics magazine, like you see the figure on the right hand side. Next slide, please. So I have several examples. One of them is generating reports. It's called canned reports. When I was a system developer, so we did a lot of this kind of a report. It's kind of static, but some of information is dynamic. So we have a predefined text, and then we collect information from dynamic SQL query, and those information is embedded in the report. So it's kind of combination of a predefined text and dynamic query result. These kind of reports can be implemented with a large language model. So I will call it a large language model based report. So I have an example on the next slide. Next slide, yeah. So as you see, the sky blue boxes, so those are input parameters to the SQL query. And so all other text are predefined. And if you see the numbers on the red boxes, those are the output of SQL query results. Those numbers are mixed. So in this monthly sales summary report, you show April 2025. I want to know the sales summary for Midwest, supervised by Alex Johnson. Those three are input parameters. Then using SQL query, like see the program code on the right-hand side, this query will give you numbers like a 2,350, the total sales for this region as a 5.2% increase. and total orders 12,487. So this kind of LLM-based reports will really help medium and small size enterprises. No, definitely large companies, they have AI teams, or specialized skilled persons. Next slide, please. So as I said, you can use LLM-based report. So that really have a natural language, which the text can be dynamic as well. So that is a benefit of creating report, which is actually dynamic and very skillful and very useful, because you can train the machine and they will follow your language and your terminologies to be used in the enterprise. Next slide, please. And then I also have another example as a part of a sourcing and collecting information. I was using prompt with the ChatGPT like this. What is the current shipping cost per TU container from the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey to Chicago, Illinois? I try to find the right tracking solution. So that generates the information and it's giving me a full truckload shipping rates and less than truckload shipping rates, like you see. And extra information it came out called range rates from port to Chicago. Also depend on 40-foot container and 20-foot containers. So actually you see the um, rates range for 40-foot containers between 3,000 and 5,000, while 20-foot containers 5,000. So it's something like you need to realize something is weird, right? 20-foot containers are smaller than 40-foot container, so they might cheaper, but actually doesn't give you a range. So you really need to understand the industry and you need to find subject matter experts to review this kind of information. That's why I'm going to talk about the new jobs created by AI later. Next slide, please. And however, for scheduling and plan for next month and next couple of months, we need to understand what's going to be a trend of trucking rate. So it depends on chassis fees and fuel surcharge and transit time. The cost will be different. So I was curious. So I had the following questions for ChatGPT. Will the rate remain the same or decrease during the summer? And because of fuel price will be up and down. So next slide, please. So it gave me some ideas. The reasons for summer rate increases include peak shipping season, fuel price fluctuation, holiday impacts, weather-related disruptions such as hurricanes and holiday impacts. People go vacation during the summer and fuel prices go up in the summer, and the peak shipping seasons for Christmas, products will be shipped during the summer. So a lot of factors are being involved. So expected rate trends can be recommended by AI. Also, those information coming certain sources. So you need to verify the sources so you can see actually post some outlook correctly. Then you just follow the recommendation in a correct way. So the AI generate a recommendation to plan ahead and monitor fuel prices. So it says monitor fuel prices, but how can I monitor fuel prices? So I had following questions. Can you go next slide? So what is the relationship between the fuel prices and container shipping rates? Please provide a prediction model or regression equation. Okay, the reason I'm having this example is you really need to understand what's going on with the information generated by AI, or how can you train AI or machine to have correct business practices. So the AI generated regression model with fuel prices. So that means freight rate is a function of fuel price. It gives us a mathematical model like you see on the right hand side over the slides. regression model examples are given by AI, it generates. So if see the y is of 1500 plus 650x, so x is a independent variable, no dependent variable, no independent variable, y is a dependent variable. So that means while you increase $1 of gas prices, and the actually the freight rate go up by $650. Can you go next slide? Yeah. But the thing is, there is only simple model with one single factors, which is a simple regression model. But there have been many other factors like a distance in terms of mass, uh, and also container weight, seasonality, and load type, such as less than truckload or full truckload, reefer or dry containers. So you can have multiple factors in the model. Um, so you have a multiple regression, but you need to talk with AI to create this multiple regression. Actually, AI itself doesn't generate anything, so you need to really have trained people who are skilled, skill sets like this in terms of data science and analytics. And the regression model can be generated, as I told. So you need to understand how to interpret. Actually, AI will give you recommendation based on the model, but if you really don't understand the model itself, so how can you rely on the recommendation given by the artificial intelligence? Next slide, please. So I want to see it with the visual diagrams to understand better, or when you report to the supervisors or stakeholders, you need to have this kind of graphs or tables, so to convince and justify your activities. So this shows the shipping rate is a function of fuel price, and it shows a linear. But again, you need to validate the data sources and the result of models, or validate the algorithms. But actually, AI generates code like that. On the left hand or right hand side, you see the Python code. So if you have uh, someone who understands this code, you can just change the parameters. You can run the model based on the primary data. This AI generating this diagram based on secondary data sets. So you really need to understand the primary data sets or secondary data sets to run this code. Next slide, please. Yeah, so risk management is one of the key topics these days to avoid any uh, volatility. Yeah. So, so I was asking AI to draw the graph with a 95% confidence interval, and then AI gives this graph, but you will find easily something wrong, right? So the dots are not linear, but the 95 confidence interval with the linear model. So something weird. So I was just talking to AI. That is not linear relationship, but you are using a linear model. So then AI fixed the model. So next slide, please. Oops. Oh, actually, before talking about this optimization, I'll try to finish the linear model. So the AI recreated the model with a second degree nonlinear model. And actually, um, I had a slide like after this, but it's okay. Uh, so uh, so AI drew the curved a prediction model with a 95% confidence interval, which is a second degree linear non-linear model. No, second degree linear model, which is a non-linear model. So uh, that's the kind of a job of data scientist in your company. So the AI can communicate with the data scientist to correct the model and to generate right outputs. So traditional, we know garbage in, garbage out. So if you don't have correct information algorithm, so then result will be incorrect. So you really need to feed good food, healthy food, right? You need to feed them, and then you will have a good output. Next slide, please. Then I want to have another different examples of AI with optimization in supply chain. Actually, uh, with the help of my research assistant, Ankit, and then he was helping me. And then Python is installed on my computer. Then I was running artificial intelligence, AI, ChatGPT. Next slide, please. And then this example is coming from my analytics textbook written by James Evan, third edition. So I just use this example to run this model with ChatGPT. I don't want to read this a long question. Let's go next slide. And then AI summarize the example. So you see the data table, which is on the given data, and they categorize the decision variables and constraints. So you see the 6 decision variables on the left-hand side, and the constraints and objective function is defined by AI for minimization problem. So that also generated constraint. Then it runs model. Next slide, please. And then it generates outputs. So that means the company should produce 550, right, in autumn, and then carry inventory to winter by 400 items. So any product will not going to be produced during the winter, and then spring you produce, but you don't carry any inventory. That means you only produce to meet the demand. So that is the best optimum solution to maximizing profit or minimizing cost. So total cost is $7,000 if you follow this recommendation. So AI generated recommendation actually to have front load production in autumn when labor is the cheapest. But yeah, when labor cheapest, then the production cost is cheaper than carrying inventory holding cost. Then avoid production in winter altogether, rely on inventory built up in autumn. Then you carry the inventory into winter, then you meet the demand, market demand. So in spring, only produce the spring demand just in time to avoid the further holding cost. So that's the best way. Actually, if you see the Excel sheet, that is a solution from the textbook. So actually, it's not much different. Okay, so the question is, next slide, please. So can you create diagrams or graphs to make a report? Yes, actually AI help. I was asking, would you like a chart or diagram? I didn't ask actually. The AI was asking, would you like a chart or diagram to visualize this plan? So I said yes, and then it generates the graph like this. But we can break down the total cost into inventory holding cost and production cost. Actually, it also generates and provides the optimization code, linear programming code. Like you see on the right-hand side, you can modify with the different parameters. So those parameters coming from accounting department or financial department, so you can just modify, or sometimes you can have scenario-based numbers, see what's going to be happen if you change production and inventory cost and also production capacity. And to get the code, if you see the blue text on the bottom left-hand side, so if you click it, you will get the code. All right, next please. Then you also have a cost breakdown per quarter for the company. And next slide, please. Yeah, I was wondering, so I was asking ChatGPT, how many decision variables can you handle? Because um, the, the, the example I have is from textbook to practice the linear programming. So it's a very small case, but many even small medium companies will have maybe 100 150 constraints. So I was asking AI to see how many decision variables it can handle. So it says 100 to 1,000 of decision variables. So that means it is enough for medium, small size companies to run these artificial intelligence, no, I mean ChatGPT to optimize business problems. But if you need more decision variables and if you have a very large linear programming, so you may need commercial software uh, like a Grobius Plex, something else. So I think that's going to be good idea for small and medium sized enterprises. Next slide, please. I already explained this because it's mixed. Okay, next slide, please. And then no, ChatGPT is not only artificial intelligence features for companies in supply chain, transportation, logistics. So I went to the uh, LG headquarters in Inglewood Cliff in New Jersey, and actually there was robots drawing faces, and that is an example of a smart manufacturing that has image processing capability. So after taking pictures, you divide it into cells, and then you analyze the images and then redraw through robots. So robots, image processing, artificial intelligence communicate together to get the job done. And then on the right hand side, I have video, but you can just easily Google. There's a AI conference. It has a lot of examples of AI implemented in supply chain logistics, transportation management, and operations. So the video actually, I want to try to show how the image processing can be implemented in quality control, quality assurance processes. What they're doing is that they have image of bottles produced by the company, and they see what kind of defective and then defective products are being flow through the line, no production line. Next slide, please. And then here's a Kim Yong-gab reporter. He's one of my friend who is working for Mail Business newspaper. And actually he went to the Amazon Fulfillment Center in Delaware. And maybe some of you have been to Amazon Fulfillment Center in New Jersey, like Edison in New Jersey, some places, I think the two places in New Jersey. Uh, but the Delaware Fulfillment Center is really advanced with the robots and artificial intelligence. So that give us a different pictures and different ideas. So he went there to record a YouTube video with the permission from the Amazon headquarters. And the video, I cannot run the video, but there is a video address, no, YouTube, yeah, link down there. If you click it, and even he speaks Korean and in English both, and then there's a subtitle, and so you still can understand what he was talking with Katie, who is a flow manager from Amazon Fulfillment Center. So the fascinating thing is a lot of different types of robots moving around for different tasks. So they have very specific tasks, and those are implemented by AI, and they understand the situations, and they have a job to get done. So it's fascinating. You see how AI is implemented in enforcement center. Next slide, please. And then this is implemented already. If you go to farmland, soybean producers, farmers, they, in traditional, they use a sensor detector, detector using sensors to find defective products. If you like a tofu or some other soybean products, depend on products to produce, you may need different types of different quality of soybeans. For example, bean sprouts, it's okay, but tofu should try to avoid green soybeans that has a very bad quality uh, tofu will be generated. So if you see on the left-hand side, the sensors embedded by artificial intelligence has a very sophisticated process. They have a very fast and very correct sensors and mechanics working together. So if it is green and they just pick or the filtering, just have filter out the green soybeans. And then also filter out the defective soybeans, like you see on the right-hand side, those husk and defective soybeans should be filtered out. Next slide. So every day we see the autonomous vehicles and may not see the autonomous ships, but it is being implemented and being tested, experimented. So um, so a lot of different transportation operators trying to come up with this in terms of safety. It's not only saving money, but it's for employee safety and also uh, to protect the environment. So I mean to reduce carbon emissions and so you see the drones. So drones can be used for a lot of different activities. For example, drone capture the image of a farm field and it sees they analyze different level of maturity and different quality, and also drone deliver products. Actually, those autonomous vehicles need to adapt to different situations. A lot of us, road hazards, objects, weathers, and so many factors are involved. So they need to be trained and embedded with artificial intelligence to be safe and to be effective. Next slide, please. But the question is, how can it transform legacy intelligence system into artificial intelligence powered system? So traditionally, we see the transaction processing system collect all the information from sensors, IoT, RFID, things like that. But it is being fed to management information system. So manager will use those information for making decisions, but that those refined information is goes to decision support systems, which is called DSS or executive information system. Those legacy information systems is being uh, implemented with AI to produce better quality. For example, TPS will be automated for data collecting, and it will include image sensors, different types of structured, unstructured information, and management information system will have supervising, overseeing activities, and it also automated repeated processing can be automated. An intelligent dashboard will be implemented with MIS so managers can have a better decision. So DSS, EIS will have data-driven decision-making, and it helps scenario-based decision-making process by generating several different scenarios depending on um, what kind of risk you face. And then there will be AI-powered recommendation can be implemented with the system, so decision makers, stakeholders will decide based on the recommendations. Next slide, please. So there are 7 steps to have a successful AI implementation in supply chain based on Carol Kroll, which is from Inbound Logistics. If you are interested, please take a look at the magazine Inbound Logistics titled How is AI Transforming Supply Chain Operations? So first of all, I want to talk about these jobs AI created, which is related. First of all, you need to identify the right problems. So if you don't have a right problem, so you cannot actually ask AI to solve the problems and recommend things. then prioritize change management. So any organizations and people will register at the first time, and then insist on transparency from AI providers. So uh, so in terms of algorithms, rule, policy, and uh, so transparency is the key to implement. Otherwise, it's going to be a black box, and you never know what's going to be happen. Then push your vendors or third-party providers and implement it quickly as possible, and then keep an open mind and remain flexible to change anything, because it's a fast-moving world we live. Next slide, please. Yeah, so I just want to briefly talk about the jobs. What's going to happen? I just categorized into two different um, things. First, it's operation data science. For second one is management system analytics, process engineering. So tasks and jobs will have different situations. Many of the tasks and processes can be replaced by artificial intelligence. Then someone who need to oversee the tasks, right? That's kind of a new job. And for management, so maybe some of jobs will be um, replaced or will have assistance with the AI, but uh, for the system analysis and process engineers will create and oversee and gonna have a new jobs or have a multitasking processes. So a lot of new jobs will be created, and if you really want to know more about new jobs, and I have actually book written by Thomas Young's digital labor, and you can see. So this has a very fascinating discussion on these new jobs, and to address this kind of new jobs, next slide, and try to um, have a new curriculum. But there are challenges of implementing AI in supply chain. I want to make a very quick. So in terms of data, data should be available. So we have a primary data or secondary data. Also, data should be accessible, maybe with an enterprise or maybe to the public. The quality of data is very critical. You see 5 V's, volume, uh, volume, value, veracity, and so out of 5 veracity, so need to really need to know the data is correct or true. And then people, we need to have we have a skill gaps in terms of professionals who knows information communication technology and domain expert. So we need to someone who knows both of them. Yeah, because AI generating these kind of new jobs, and also need to someone who design the problem, verify, validate the problem. No, verify, validate the algorithms generated by AI and results generated by AI, and then need to implement the project. And so that's why we need also project managers. We need to understand ethical concerns such as privacy, bias, diversity, and equity, and also um, infrastructure is the key in terms of sustainability, energy consumption, and uh, we need to integrate legacy systems and new AI embedded systems. Next slide, please. So I want to briefly introduce programs, and then Tai can take over. Um, so our supply chain and logistics maritime port management is very accessible in terms of geographically or economically. So any person can take. Also, international students just pay flat tuition, like an in-state tuition rate. So it's kind of 50% of a discount actually. And then it's very accomplishable. We have a lot of internship, apprenticeship opportunities for experiential learning, and also implement hands-on practice. And we have a very fascinating student club, ASCCM, and GCU Student Forum. Um, So next slide, please. And course, we cannot avoid AI, so we try to modify some courses, curricula, such as business enterprise applications with Excel and business statistics. That's necessary. And then also have a decision intelligence in supply chain will be new name, decision intelligence and AI in supply chain. Also, we have a business information systems covering artificial intelligence. In addition to required courses for undergraduate, we have a lot of electives, so you can take many data science courses and AI related courses. Next, please. And this pathway will take over Teo, and she will explain how NJCU offer new opportunities.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lee. Such wealth of information for us, and I hope everyone was listening and gleaning directly from that information. Before we wrap up today's webinar, we do want to take a moment to share some exciting opportunities with you. At NJCU, students can begin their journey into logistics and maritime port management as early as their senior year of high school. Through our non-credit certificate programs, you can gain practical skills and industry recognized credentials. They can trans they can transition into our Bachelor of Science in Logistics and Maritime Port Management program, launching their careers while completing their degree. Students may also enter directly into the bachelor's program and enhance their education by enrolling into our non-credit certificates. NJCU awards academic credit for prior learning, including select certifications and relevant work experience, helping students accelerate their path to graduation. Non-credit programs include certified supply chain professional with exam prep, freight broker agent training, procurement and purchasing management, Lean Six Sigma, import and export agent training, ocean maritime, and many more offerings that are flexible, career driven, but create pathways into the global supply chain industry. For more details on our non-credit offerings, simply scan the QR code that will be showing up on the screen shortly, or click the link in the chat to access our website and view our offerings. We're now opening the floor for a Q&A session. Feel free to drop your questions in the chat or utilize the raised hand emoji if you'd like to speak, and we will call on you to speak. The floor is open, so please go ahead and ask your questions.
Thanks, Tayo. You can type your question via chat box or can speak if you circumstance allow you to speak. Okay, so question, uh, is there a process or discipline that combines supply chain management with AI and computer science? Do you recommend any material that would expand our knowledge of supply chain management? Does your book cover some of the topics in detail? Do you have any recommendation for getting into food procurement? Can you also please share these slides with us? Thanks for the webinar. Yeah, this slide can be shared. I don't know, Tayo, can you share?
Absolutely. We will be sharing the presentation with the participants via email once the presentation is done.
Okay, so I have several questions. Let's go one by one. Okay, so I actually I was introducing several courses we have in undergraduate program in supply chain logistics, maritime port management. So we try to update our curriculum. So it's going to be embedded in our supply chain intelligence, information systems, and business enterprise applications. And if you're in computer science program, I really recommend you take a one or two courses from supply chain programs, such as Introduction to Supply Chain or Global Supply Chain. those will give you great information and knowledge on that, which is a basic knowledge on supply chain. Then you're gonna have an idea how to combine this supply chain and IT, or IT based supply chain, because a lot of IT um, technology is being implemented in supply chain and transportation, right? So it is very necessary to understand IT background knowledge and supply chain subject matter. So that's my recommendation. And any materials? And yeah, actually you can find a lot of materials from YouTube and free from IBM, Oracle, and also SAP, Enterprise Resource Planning. So you will find a lot of information from there too. So okay,
Dr. Lee,
yeah,
Claudia's asking, is SAP using supply chain along with AI?
yeah, definitely. Actually, I was supposed to have a diagram with the enterprise resource planning, with the transportation management system, warehouse management system, supplier relations management, customer relationship management. Every features can be implemented with AI, but depend on tasks. That's what I was saying. So every business will have different goals and different budget. So, but anyway, so AI can be implemented, and then some of the companies are already implementing AI to have automated process.
Wonderful. Helen Choi is asking if the job market for supply chain using AI will be increasing.
Um, Supply chain using AI, definitely. I think supply chain industry was looking for someone who knows enterprise resource planning and geographic information systems. Now they're going to add artificial intelligence like a prompt engineering as a part of a job description. It's a great
Won-
question. Yeah.
Wonderful. Claudia Mora, I'm not sure if the question's already been answered, but she says, I'm moving to Europe and would like to know how I can use SAP and AI integration for future job opportunities.
Okay, so actually Europe is the leading this industry because SAP coming from Europe, and then actually 20 years ago I was working for BAN for ERP. So at the time there are two major ERP companies, BAN and SAP. Both are from Europe. So Europe is actually leading this. And then regarding AI ethical regulation policies, and EU also lead these kind of things. So you will see a lot of opportunities.
That seems to be the final question. Unless someone else has another question, we have a couple of more moments and are happy to answer. So please, if you still have a question, post it in the chat. John Batista is asking, is there a course on intergenerational cybersecurity, data security, and supply chain management?
Okay, so good question. I'm working with Scott Fisher, who is a professor of cybersecurity. We develop proposing new program, cybersecurity and artificial intelligence in supply chain. So we don't have it right now, but it's gonna come out maybe next year. But if it is not, if you are not looking for minority major or certificate, you can take several courses as electives. Yeah, so you need to talk with your academic advisor and chair, department chair. So you will be able to take those courses.
Thank you, Dr. Lee. The time is 10:59, and if there are no other questions, we just want to provide the final piece to our webinar today. We truly value your thoughts, everyone. I want to hear from you. Your feedback helps us improve and shape future webinars to better meet your needs. We're going to be posting a QR code to share your thoughts. Please take a moment. It truly takes just a minute to complete, and we'd greatly appreciate your input. You'll also receive an email with the survey link along with the recording of today's webinar so you can revisit key points or share with others. Please feel free to share your constructive thoughts. We're listening. You can also connect with us on our social platforms. We look forward to engaging with you on our website, on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, if you'd like. We're all over the place. So please feel free to connect with us on those platforms. Once again, sincere thanks to Dr. Lee for delivering such an informative and engaging session. If you have additional questions for Dr. Lee, we will be posting his email in the chat, and you can feel free to email him directly with those questions. Thank you all for joining us today. We appreciate your time, your engagement, and your support, and look forward to seeing you at our next event. Have a great day, everyone.
Thanks.